chicken grease in my soul. That's how I roll. KFC, baby, it's my favorite. Oh, give me that bucket. I said, give me that bucket. I think, give me that bucket. My finger licking chicken. From Kentucky to the bayou, the flavor's so right. That secret recipe keeps me up all night. Gotta have that crunch, that wonderful spice. KFC, baby, it's a chicken paradise. Fried and crispy, can't resist me. KFC, a southern mystery, crunchy chicken, finger licking. Come and get it, that clock is ticking. Fried and crispy, don't you miss me. KFC, you're making history, let's get lost. Oh, keep the cost low. KFC is the gravy gospel. Give me that bucket. I said, give me that bucket. Give me that bucket. Oh, give me that bucket. I said, give me that bucket. Give me that bucket. Oh, give me that.
And we are live. There it is. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Tuesday Night Cooldown. It's a stream where we hang out, we talk about Tuesday night's main event if you want to. There's topics that got missed, things you want to talk about more, or if you just want to chill, listen to me gobble about random shit, I can also do that. Is gobble the right word? Like a turkey? So yeah, that's what we got going on. Hope you guys are all doing well. Welcome in. Chat jumped on me hardcore, so I lost a whole bunch of the chats in the very beginning, but I was told by a reliable source, a little birdie, a lovely, wonderful, precious little birdie, that a very special somebody gets the soul glow. Turd Ferguson, Ferg Turgeson, man, the myth, the legend, mod extraordinaire. As angry as he sometimes makes me, we appreciate him around here. Turd, your soul's glowing.
Just let your soul glow. Just let it shine through.
Just let your soul glow, baby. Feeling oh so silky smooth.
Just let it shine through. Just let your soul glow.
Hey, shout out Turd, appreciate you. All right, I'm gonna start saying hi to people in the chat, and then we're just gonna get right into hanging out and talking. J-Ram, thank you for the membership. Welcome to the Meek. Shout out, thank you, J-Ram. Hello, Mrs. Rough Knight, much love to you. What's up, Darth Bane? Good to see you. X Wonderland says, woo, late one tonight. Wonder why? I don't know. 5-hour Tuesday night's main event. We'll do that to you. Beardo Red Slow, that's wild. Andrew Fraser Jr., welcome in. Good to see you as well. Naruto the 7th, also mod extraordinary. Appreciate you. Thank you for dropping the link to Daughter's Revenge. Go check it out. Get in where you fit in with that. Just get it all. Escapo says Beardo Fat. Hey, shout out Escapo. Good to see you, man. Screw away to. I didn't want to hear about that book again, so I came here. How's everybody doing? Hey, welcome in, man. Good to see you. What's up, Glenathan? Good to see you, sir. Blue Ridge Bear, shout out. Thank you for the cooldown. Hey, my pleasure. Me, myself, and I, darn, not first in chat. That's okay. One day, you'll get it. Soundwave Superior says 199. Hey, shout out Soundwave. Thank you. Mark Andre Roy says, Mink. What's up, Mark Andre Roy? JB Benedict. Charles Devane. What's going on? I hope you guys are doing well. I needed a cooldown after that. Yeah, that ending was rough. That Vax ending is rough. Ugh. What's up, Stephen Brown? Good to see you as well. Spirian, good to see you. It's been a long year. Tuesday night's main event. What's up, Hertz Donut? Good to see you. Crazy Clown Town says some people want to watch the world burn. It's true. Hey, Saint Adam, good to see you. J Ram, John Ambler in chat, appreciate you as well. What's up, Harbinger? That was a long ass stream, says Lost Braves fan. Yes, it was. What's up, Keenan? Good to see you. I'm so glad Krista was on main event. Oh, Krista was on main event. That's a huge win for you. There we go. Let's see here. Corner Pub, good to see you as well. Lost Haven, Larry the IDOT, Kodiak Rex. Good to see all of you guys. Hail the Steel Walrus. Oh, hail the Steel Walrus. Yeah. I saw it. Warwick says Meek already late and gay. Yeah, that was going to be the case no matter what we did. I think that's just about everybody. Bear McCockiner. What's up? Good to see you, Paul Monopoly. Shout out. Hi, Donna. Good to see you as well. Stress Level 100 says Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. I have not forgotten, my friend. It will happen. All right. It is on my list. Mike is only a minute late. How much more late will he be? Who even knows? But shout out. Good to see you guys. I hope you guys are all doing well. Let me know how you guys' day's been. And let me know what you guys are thinking about, what you guys want to talk about. We had a lot of interesting topics today. War Wizard for 199 says Miki uses chicken. Wow. Miki uses chicken grease on his south.
Bro, please, bro. Why you do?
We don't want to talk about the end of Tuesday night's main event. That's fair. I understand. I get it. I'm pissed Adam West wasn't on the best Batman poll. Yeah, there's only so many of them, but like, here's the thing. I like Adam West, sure, but I like a darker, grittier Batman. I'm sorry, I just do. I prefer my Batman to be brooding and upset and angry and quite violent. But I also do have a special place in my heart for the Adam West Batman. Okay, I do. Lost Haven says Gobble Tax. That's wild. Jake Stanley Blue Blaze for 2. Cheers. Hey, cheers, my friend. Yeah. Tink. That's my glass. I don't know how to do that because I don't drink. Mike doesn't stream video games anymore, Tax. Yes, I do. I stream video games on Friday. Turning on my light. There we go. That's a little bit better, right? So behind on chat, Mike 2026. Yeah, I would say new year, new me, but that's not gonna happen. There's nothing new. I'm gonna miss the chat all the time. Okay, it's just gonna happen. Tuesday's main event was a little weird, says Sissy. Hi, Sissy. What was weird about it? What was weird about it? And I do still stream video games. But Jonathan Cat, member for 3 months, says just for kicks, you should try the new game Pathways. See Disparu's tax pounds at work. Also, Beardo's so great. Why is he fat? That's wild. Pathways? Let me look this up. I'll look it up regular right here. Is it new? Is it a new game or is it an old game that you guys are telling me to check out now? That's what I'm curious about. Pathways. Pull it up here. Pathways. Pathways game. Oh no. British propaganda game. What is this? Oh no. That's Pathway, but I don't think that's the game we're talking about. Pathways. How does anybody find this? It's like a British propaganda game? Oh no. I don't think I'm going to play that. Nope, I think I'm just going to avoid that at all costs. You know what? We're just going to avoid that. I'm not going to pull it up. New game Pathway. I'll see if I can find it and play it. We'll check it out. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much I hate myself tomorrow. I'm Vatlaw. I've been for 7 months. Hey, shout out Vatlaw. Says the cowardly Janetti tried to escape through the window. Heenan. One reason wrestling hasn't been as good, no one holds a candle to him. That's very true. You are correct. You are very correct, man. Appreciate you. It's me. I'm the precious little birdie. Yes, you are. Even though still haven't worn a low-cut shirt since coming over last, and you promised you would. Just here for the boobs. That's all I'm here for. Mountain Mutt for 5 says, Shalom, Miki. I googled Yiddish insults earlier so I can talk to you in your own lingo. Seid nicht Michigana. I feel like I said something bad. I feel like I said something bad. I do. I feel like I said something bad. Irish Richard Armdrag says, what up, John Ambler? Time to touch me. Huh? What does that mean? Why would you... Why are we touching me? What? Oh, no. All right, I think I'm almost caught up on super chats here, and I'm just trying to see everything. Mike found this cool Dr. Doom shirt at work. Found this cool Dr. Doom shirt at work. It made my day, man. Oh, hell yeah. I need to get more Dr. Doom like t-shirts and stuff, dude. Yeah. Like I did it as a joke kind of before. Like I thought it was funny to see my afro like in front of Dr. Doom's mask, but like I'm also just kind of really into Dr. Doom like as a character. Like I'm just like, this is kind of rad, and the shirts and like the artwork and stuff for like on his merch and stuff is pretty rad. I'm gonna have to get more Dr. Doom shirts for sure. I'm gonna see if I can. I don't know if I can get away with a Meek Doom shirt. I'm not sure if I could get away with that design, but I'll check it out and see if I can put something together. So what the heck do you guys discuss on Tuesday night's main event? You know what, never mind, I don't want to know. Yeah, it was rough, it was bad. Talked a lot about poop. Definitely not a gator. Says, hi Mike, do you want a free Persona 5 Royale stream key? Sure. I don't know a ton. I like Persona 5. See here. Oh yeah, Persona. I've heard Persona's good. I don't know if I've ever played a Persona game. I've heard a lot of people like them. Oh, it looks like a pretty intense game. Yeah, I mean, I would do that. If you want to email me or message me on Twitter, either one, you can message me on Twitter, or if you want to email me on Epic Mike Business, that would be totally cool. Yeah, I'd be totally down for that. Thank you. I appreciate that. What's up, Turbo? Good to see you. Arm Drag said, Sleeping Dogs, you slacker. Bro, I've played it so much. I'm never going to beat it. I'm never going to beat that game, I don't think. It's going to be a thing that comes back, and then I don't, and then I come back, and then I don't. You know, it'll just be like one of those games that kind of perpetually just exists throughout my entire career. You know what I'm saying? Ted M. Coog for 199 says, she used to tune y'all out. My wife now watches. Hey, shout out. Well, hello, Mrs. Ted. Or Mrs. Coog. Mrs. Coog 97. Mrs. Ted. Mrs. Ted M. Whatever you call yourself. Shout out. Appreciate you hanging out with us. This is by far the most fun chat. Dude, I love my chat. It's a great chat. Scrap Iron says, it's been a great day, Meek. Hey, I love to hear that. Macho Meek Savage. Oh, yeah. Screwwadu says, I'm happy I could contribute to the bidet monkey conversation. Yeah, dude. Sulu Felix says, Tuesday's main event, if you should know by now, goes over 3 hours. Jeremy is aiming for 4. If it goes over 4 hours, the Fig is aiming for 5. Yeah, he wants that exact hour mark. He's got to do it. It's like it's his autism at work. Andrew Fraser Jr., what are your thoughts on Sub-Zero Batman movie? That shit brought me to tears as a child. Sub-Zero is also a very good Batman movie. I think Mask of the Phantasm is better, but the Sub-Zero movie is still pretty good. Yeah. Mr. Freeze is Mr. Freeze from the animated series is one of the best villains in the series, dude. Like Batman and him together like are just awesome. His character specifically, like, yeah, I mean, I've mentioned this. Heart of Ice is one of my favorite episodes of television of all time. Like, yeah, to never feel a warm wind on your face. Yeah, like, dude. Yeah. Oh yes, I'd kill for that. Or never again feel a warm breeze on your face. Yeah, dude, this shit's rad, dude. Mr. Freeze is awesome. So yeah, the Sub-Zero movie is good though. Batman really stops being angry once he hits year 8 or so, though, canonically. Still obsessive as hell, prone to stubbornness, but not really angry. That's true. That's fair. But he is obsessive, and at the end of the day, like, Batman's just trying to... I mean, Batman is trying to prevent, you know, another child from losing his family in the alleyway, so... Which is obsessive, and I appreciate that. Dingar Renegade says, yo, something like your greatness has no limits. Eat another cake, bro. Why is the body laying in the street like that? Cake tax. Why do a body laying in the street? Call the ambulance. The Batman is an angsty teenage girl. We need a better Batman than that. Hey, listen, I don't want to, like, crap on anybody's Batman. I understand why people like the Batman. I think the aesthetic is good. I even dig the take they did on the costume. I know it's kind of supposed to be like Batman Noel style. If I remember correctly, that's like the style that they're going for. my problem with that is, I just wish it was a little bit more. What's the term I'm thinking of? I wish it was a little bit more gothic. Like I don't know how to explain it. Like, okay, let me pull these up. Let's talk about Batman's suit for a second. If you're not a Batman fan, I'm sorry, but please just hang out here with me, okay? Just bear with me. We'll get to other topics as well. The Batman Noel costume is very, very similar to the very, very similar to the Batman costume. Here, I'm gonna pull it up. Try to find the comic version of it, because I also want there to be where's Batman Noel? Is this it? I don't know if that looks like it. That kind of looks like it. We'll pull up a crappy, like, this is not, it's not like crappy, but this is like a sketch of it. All right, we'll pull this up. Hold on. Why does it take me so fucking long to pull up a picture of this costume? Here we go. All right, so this is the Batman costume. Oh geez, that version's terrible too. All of these are like really low res for some reason. It seems like every time I do a solo stream, I end up talking about Batman. I don't know why that is, but
we would be honored.
Oh, you know why I'm not finding good versions? Because I'm on fucking I'm on Brave right now. Looking through this, I'm using their browser. These are toy versions, but I think we'll get like good images. So like this is Batman Noel. Right here. And this costume definitely heavily inspired Pattinson's costume. You can see like the cloth design, the shorter ears, the leathery helmet. One of the things I really like about this costume though are these pointed pieces of the cape. When they're out and stuff, they make the cape look kind of jagged, and you get some really cool like designs when he's like posing in them. Okay. And I dig that. I think that that's a really cool costume design. And then you get like Pattinson's, which, why is this so fucking like, there we go, blown out. Like you could see that there's definitely a similarity. I'm not a huge, here's a problem. I'm not a huge fan of the mask. I get why they did it the way that they did it, but I'm not a huge fan of this mask. I get this is supposed to be Batman Year 2, and so they're trying to make him a little bit less streamlined and stuff. He has like more of a cop belt and stuff like that, which is fine. Like I don't mind it. But there's just like, I don't know how to just say it. You know, one of the things that I actually really like about Batman, and I think is important, and you actually get to see that with Keaton's Batman, which some of the moments in those movies are what really make the Batman movies to me. The fact that when you see Batman for the first time and he's confronting these villains and stuff, they don't know if he's like a real person or not at first. They shoot him and they think, cool, we did it. And then he gets back up and they're like, oh shit, is this guy even dead? Like, or is this guy even like killable? All this stuff. That kind of stuff is what makes Batman work. They do a good job of that in Bale's Batman, especially in Batman Begins. They do it in The Dark Knight a little bit too, but more in Batman Begins. That theatricality and deception that I really like think is really cool about Batman. The fact that criminals don't know if he's a real person or not. They don't know if he has powers or not. You know, those kind of things, that kind of stuff about Batman, I think is pretty cool. Why is my thing doing this? Hold on. There we go. Yeah, that kind of specific stuff about Batman is like some of the coolest stuff about him. But like, I don't know. I think just sometimes people kind of miss the mark on that kind of stuff. So, let me see here. Pathway is literally a game made by the British government that tells you that you could go to jail for not being woke enough. Really? Is that what that's all about? That's why people want me to play it? I might check it out. It sounds like that one game. There was like another game that was paid for like by the Swedish government or some crap like that. I remember when Savvy found that. I don't remember what game it was though. It was like some kind of cat game or something maybe. Is that the stupid Prevent game? That might be what it is. As we're looking at it on the real BBC and it's pure propaganda. Yikes, dude. I haven't been to your house in months. Who and whose boobs' fault is that? Who and whose boobs' fault is that? Actually, that's a trick question because I actually know the answer to that, and it's not you. Starter Craig played Pathways and ended up in re-education camp and game. No way, dude. That's wild. Maybe I'll check it out just to see what happens to me. Brian Kettershaw, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy? What's up, Brandon Max of Animation? Good to see you as well, my friend. Hope you're doing well. There is no chirp. There's no chirp.
Huh?
Putting words in my mouth? What? I'm not putting anything in your mouth. Charles Devane says, I stand corrected. About what? What happened? Hey, what's up, Brandon Kitchens? Good to see you. Scott's Annunziata? Great job on Tuesday night's main event. Here's hoping for more Mika and F&T. Yeah, I'm like a semi-regular. Like, if it was a TV show, you have the main F&T cast. Gary's the main character. You know, X-Ray Girl is like and Quarter Black Garrett are like the two supporting characters that are there all the time. And then you have like your cast of folk, you know. You got the OGs like Comics. You got Jeremy, you got Ryan, you know, and then you get like Shad, who gets added in a little bit later. You know, you got Az. I think Az has been there from the beginning as well. And then you know, eventually get Disparu. Yeah. So like, you know, you have like that. And then like, I'm like a guest star, you know, it's like, you know, business as usual. And they're like all hanging out and doing whatever they do in the hangout spot. And then like the door opens up and they're like, it's Mike, you know, and then I like step in and, you know, I pause and like smile for the camera. And then like the whole like crowd is like, you know, that kind of a thing. Or
Boo this man!
it just depends on the day. What's up, Milkman? You do need new merch. I know, I'm working on new merch too. My artist is my sister. Primarily, I probably will find maybe one other artist that I can work with just so that there's not so much pressure on her all the time. She does great work, but a lot of it's been me and not getting with her to like touch base on like what kind of merch we're doing and stuff. The merch store is still up. There's still the regular stuff. And I also did, let me see if I can find it here. I also did over on the Fourth Wall store, make the Sneak Meek merch. I believe that is currently up right now again. I think the Sneak Meek merch is up full time now. Cause I felt bad it took me so long. Is it? No, where is it? Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So if you go there, there's here, I'll pull this up. Jamie, pull that up. There's this.
That's a huge bitch!
That's the wrong button. That's the right button. All right, yeah. So fourthwall.com. I know mods will drop it. Why are these hidden? Hold on, I'll hide these. But we have like these shirts. These are all available here on their channel. Okay. Oh, that's why. These are the signature shirts. But these shirts are all available. I'm working on stickers right now. Those are some. But the Retro Meek hoodie, the Retro Meek hat, the Retro Meek shirt. Then Solid Meek is up there now. That comes in a bunch of different colors. Then we have the Epic Mike t-shirt and Epic Mike Dark Meek edition. But I'm working on like pins. I'm working on stickers. I'm working on another hat here. And then there's a couple other things that I'm working on behind the scenes. And once those are ready, I'll get them all out to you guys. I also am waiting on the final chicken bucket emoji because I have one. I have a chicken bucket image, but it didn't translate to an emoji correctly. So I was kind of bummed out about that. I was like, okay, this looks awesome because I love it. And I'll show you guys what it looks like, but it wasn't, it didn't, for some reason, it didn't, it was too like big of an image for me to do. Hold on. Why is it not opening, dude? I don't know why it's not opening. Whatever. I'll see if I can figure that out. Anyways, but yeah, so that's what I got going on right now. But yeah, I have not forgotten about all of that. I don't know why this isn't opening like it's supposed to. Beautiful morning, you're the sun of my morning, babe. Yeah, I don't know why it's not working like I wanted it to. Whatever, I'll find it and I'll get it up. I just need to get a smaller version of it because YouTube says like it can only be like certain size. So yeah. What's up, Brandon Kitchens? I already said that. Meek be like, Persona. What is a strange new indie game? No, I know about Persona. I just haven't played the first few. So, Persona's overrated. I prefer other JRPGs. By far, and it's the genre I play the most. I've just never played them, and I like JRPGs. So, Mike got a wrestling question. What are your top 5 favorite wrestling title designs? It could be from any wrestling company. Ooh, that's a really good one. Definitely not a gator. My email is epicmikebusiness@gmail.com. epicmikebusiness@gmail.com. Yeah, my top wrestling designs or wrestling title designs. I hate the new World Heavyweight Championship belt. The new WWE one. I love the older one, dude. Like that is the World Heavyweight Championship belt, like from the like early 2000s. That is my favorite belt design ever. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know why it keeps coming up so small, dude. I'll find them. I'll pull them up. But yeah, like, so the new design, you know what? I'm just going to pull it up here like this. I'll just do this. Because, yeah. So, like, this is the current WWE World Heavyweight Championship design. I hate this look. I think this is a shitty design. This is the original. I love this original design, dude. This is like my favorite belt ever. I don't know why I liked it so much. I just really appreciated that. If I could have a belt, that would be like one of the dream belts I would want to have, just because I always thought that belt looked so fucking cool, dude. That's a really good one. Let me see here. I love the Hardcore Championship. That's another one. These are not going to be in order, but they're just going to be the ones that I can think of that I really like. I think the Hardcore Championship belt was so fucking cool too. My buddy used to, we made him one actually. I just loved how this belt design like looked. I loved how like busted up and like crappy it looked. But yeah, the Hardcore Championship was a fucking rad belt as well. I always thought that belt looked cool as shit. Because it looked like a fucking bum stole it. The Rock being my favorite wrestler. The Brahma Bull belt was a really cool one. I thought this championship belt, it looks goofy now, and like I don't think it aged as well, but I love this design of this belt back in the day, dude. I thought this was like the fact that The Rock like had his own like looking belt was so fucking cool to me, dude. I was like, oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, that one. Oh, let me think here. Is that 3 or 4? I think that's 4. And then the Intercontinental Championship belt, and I think it was from which one was from? Maybe it wasn't the Intercontinental Championship belt. Maybe it was a different one. I don't like how homogenized a lot of the belts look now. I actually really like that white design with the Intercontinental Championship belt. I always thought that white design was really cool. It's not that one. Maybe it's the TNA one I'm thinking about. It's not the TNA one either. Man, you guys got me like all on this now thinking about this. It's not the TNA belt either. Maybe I'm thinking WCW? Because I know the World Heavyweight Championship belt was the belt that went over the WWE as well. Huh. I'm trying to think. I don't remember what the name of it was now. Maybe it was... 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 Maybe it was Maybe it's just the original United States Championship belt. I don't know. It's a tie. Because I really like the United States Championship belt just because it's the United States Championship. I hate this new one, or this new one right here. I don't like this one. Like, I think it's okay. This one right here, actually, I really, really like this design. I thought this shit was really cool. That's like probably like I'd have to like do more research and pull them all up. Like off the top of my head, those are probably my favorite belt designs. The World Heavyweight Championship from WWE, the Brahma Bull Championship was another one that I really, really, really liked. Yeah, I was never a huge fan of the. I hated the spinner belt. I thought the spinner belt was fucking trash. I never liked the fucking spinner belt. Oh, you know what it was? Hold on. Was it the new design? Was it I remember when Punk came out with the new design for the WWE belt. That might have been the new one. That might have been the one that I liked. Because he got rid of the fucking spinner belt. He hated the spinner belt. And when they changed with the when they changed the design of the WWE Championship belt, I did like that one when they got rid of the fucking spinner belt. I hated it. I love when they brought back the wing design for the eagle design for the belt. I thought that shit was really rad. I love that they did that for Cody for a little bit. They should have let Cody keep that belt though. They should have just left it the fuck alone. There it is. This is the one I was looking up. That's why it was. Okay. The 2002 WWE Championship belt. This is the one I was thinking of. I don't know why I was thinking it was WCW. This belt right here. I fucking love this design too. I like that it's a little bit smaller than the World Heavyweight Championship belt, which it should be. I just always liked the look of this belt. I hated when they got rid of it for the fucking spinner belt. Thought that shit was trash. These are the designs over the years. But I liked this design a lot. I hated this one. This one was fine, but I don't like how like weird and squarish it was. I also miss like this belt to me always looks stiff. It looks like stiff and like I don't know how to put it. It kind of looks like a fucking toy. And I think that's why I like the heavyweight championship belt so much, because it didn't feel like it didn't look like a fucking toy. Like it was like big and heavy. So yeah, that was a good question, man. Thank you. I know I'm super fucking behind in chat though. Have you seen the trailer for Blood of the Dawnwalker game? It's from Rebel Wolves. Yes, I have. Very, very likely, as long as the game isn't busted on launch, we'll be playing that game like really quickly after it comes out. Okay. My mom used to work in tech for a long time. She used to work for an internet company back in the day when internet, like not everybody had internet everywhere. She worked for a company that would like go to like rural areas to give people internet and stuff like that. She worked for a tech startup company with a friend of hers back in the day and stuff. So she worked in a lot of tech things. And the thing that my mom always taught me was when new tech comes out, including new video games, never buy on day one. She always taught me that. She goes, do not buy stuff on day one. You need to wait. She used to say a year for new tech. I think new tech has caught up a little bit. It's not as rough, but like 6 months, you know, for video games, I think video games, it's usually safe to like wait a month or two to play them, because the problem is a lot of times those games are not optimized. They're not ready to go. A lot of times they have a day one patch, and that's also where you find out whether the game has major problems. I mean, there are so many reports of a game with an uncapped frame rate, or a game with some other optimized issue, and maybe it doesn't brick your computer, but it can do damage to your computer, shit like that. You know, or it's just unplayable, and so you're excited and you're disappointed. Typically, if you wait like a month or two, a lot of times the game will be patched and as good a condition as it can to its initial like launch phase. Now, if you did something with that, like with Cyberpunk, the game got significantly better like a year after it was released, which it shouldn't take that long. But like typically, she's always taught me to wait. So like buying a brand new game sight unseen is tough for me, unless I really, really trust the company and like them. I almost never pre-order games. There are like maybe I probably could count on one hand how many times I've actually pre-ordered a game. I know Reese of the Cripple always tells me not to pre-order games. I think Frank the Tank has said the same thing to me, but that's okay. Like, I only pre-ordered if I trust the company and just think I don't give a fuck. I want them to have my money, and there's not many companies that are like that. Like Larian Studios, I trust them like that. You know, but it just depends. But most of the time, I won't even pre-order stuff. So given game companies time is always a good idea. I also don't like chasing trends. I hate the feeling of the pressure of this comes out day one, I have to play it. If it's a game that I'm excited about and I want to play day one, that's a different story. But like the pressure of chasing new games is exhausting, and I think is the quickest way to run into burnout, where you guys start to feel like, okay, he's not even having a good time playing this, so like, you know, what are we even doing here? Versus, I'm going to play what I want to play. I'm going to play stuff that I enjoy playing, that I also feel like is engaging for you guys. So, I'm sorry, Miss Tedson. Oh, I am for real. I'm so fucking behind. Mr. Freeze, a fantastic villain. Yes, he is. So the movie Romeo's Bleeding last night. Weird, over-the-top 90s noir movie, but really good with a great Gary Oldman performance. I've heard of Romeo's Bleeding, but I've never seen it. Before I ever watched the full series, Rough Night showed me Heart of Ice, hooked me immediately. It's so fucking good, dude. The stuff with Two-Face and Batman and like Bruce and him being best friends is always good. Ah, good old Bruce. Like that kind of dude, that show's amazing. Bullet for Bullock, that was a good one. That was a very good one. Yeah, The Man Who Killed Batman was a really good one as well. This Freeze of Batman Beyond ending, I think, is a canonical Batman animated series ending for Freeze. It is, yes, because Batman Beyond is canon to the original animated series. I mean, for people that don't know that universe, that there's a universe there. It's Batman the animated series, Superman the animated adventures, I believe is what it's called. It's been a while since I watched that one. Then it's Justice League Unlimited, Batman Beyond, and Static Shock. And Batman Beyond and Static Shock are contemporaries. They're happening at the same time in the same timeline. But as far as I know, with the exception of like sometimes them jumping way far in the future in other stories, the timeline for the latest timeline, or like the farthest one out, is Batman Beyond. I don't know that there's a lot of characters beyond that. Like, yeah, there are characters and stuff, but like Batman Beyond is like the farthest that animated universe goes. Batman Beyond is a banger too. Like Batman Beyond, but if you watch them all together, they're really good. Like Batman, the animated series, and then going into Superman is really good. I think Superman's good. It's very different, but it's still really good. Justice League is fucking great. There's some episodes that are like hit or miss, but they're still overall really good. Justice League Unlimited is the most hit or miss of the shows because there's something for everybody there, but some episodes are just drags, dude. Sometimes you don't like the composition of the teams, you don't like the characters, or some of the characters are okay, some of them aren't, blah, blah, blah. The episodes in Justice League Unlimited that are the best, just about anything with Green Arrow and Huntress is great. Or not Huntress, Black Canary is great. Black Canary is fucking phenomenal in that show. Green Arrow is really good. Anything with the Question, and they have crossover with each other a lot. The Question and Green Arrow and all that stuff. But the Question and Huntress, that is some of the best that show's ever been. Jeffrey Combs as the Question is so fucking good. And then there's some really good Batman episodes in there as well. Yeah, there's just some really great stuff across the board. It's funny because like in Batman, one of the things I actually really like too, in Batman the Animated Series, is you get the scary, violent, dangerous Batman, but you also can get like a really compassionate Batman who's just trying to save people's lives and doesn't want to just hurt criminals. That's not his main goal. And one of the things I love in Batman Begins is the scene where he's crawling through, like he's going through and he's scouting in the Narrows or whatever, and he looks over at the kid. I think that's young Joffrey or whatever. He looks over at the kid, and the kid's like, oh. He's like, oh man, my friends will never believe me. And he takes the gadget that he's using and like flips it up and like tosses it to the kid or whatever and takes off. That's quintessential Batman right there. A lot of people don't know this, but Batman has a soft spot for innocent people, you know, and yeah, it's rad. Yeah, there's a storyline that I actually just learned about recently because I never read this in the comics. There's a storyline in Batman where this kid loses his dog and he's putting up flyers about it, and then Batman basically like shows up and decides to help the kid find his dog. And it is a really awesome comic book run. I just learned about this recently. Shout out to my sister for telling me about it. But like, yeah, Batman, like when he's doing like small crime stuff, like petty crime stuff, like helping a lady get back her purse, helping a kid find his dog, things like that, always gets to some really cool shit. And it always is just a reminder of why Batman is such a beloved character, because it's not just about the big bombastic stuff. Sure, dodging Darkseid's Omega Beams is cool, but what's cooler is the fact that he takes the time to like help an old lady cross the street as well. He's one of the wealthiest men in the world, one of the most dangerous vigilantes out there, one of the most well-respected superheroes, and he still stops to like, you know, help a lady, you know, cross the street, or still, you know, save a kid from, you know, getting beat up in an alleyway. Like, there's just like, Batman's rad. I know a lot of people think I hate Batman. I don't. I like Batman so much that I'm very hypercritical of him as a character, and I don't like certain adaptations of him overall. But if you do it right, there's nothing better. I would argue that Spider-Man's probably my favorite superhero still. But I feel like most people, with the exception of like the Miles Morales crew, who sometimes feels like they have to tear down Peter Parker to make Miles Morales look better, which it shouldn't be that way. I'm probably more critical of Batman because I feel like Batman gets the most uncharacteristic like levels of hype and glazing. Like, people make the joke about prep time, but some people don't joke. Some people think with prep time, Batman is like the most powerful being on the planet or in the universe, and I'm like, no, Batman's still just a man, and that's what makes him interesting. Yes, with prep time, he can do a lot of things, and he's a great strategist, and he thinks about things, and he's paranoid as fuck, and all of those things contribute to him being a great superhero. But like, at the end of the day, he's just a guy in a bat suit, and that's what makes it interesting. That level of vulnerability as a character. That's what makes Spider-Man interesting, is that Spider-Man is crazy powerful. Motherfucker could fight the Avengers by himself. Spider-Man is on another level when it comes to power levels, but he holds back, and he just kind of sticks around his neighborhood most of the time and just helps people, because that's what he does, and that's who he is as a person. That's why I love that. You know, it's same with Superman. Superman's one of my favorite superheroes. The most powerful being in the world chooses to, you know, stop and tell somebody to have a good day, things like that. It's different because it's not as, sometimes Superman's like connection with people doesn't have the same level of like intimacy, because he's so powerful that, you know, he's kind of like limiting himself to come like interact with people. But even that is also really cool. So Captain Butter for 2 says Freeze's Arkham series arc is fantastic. Yes, Mr. Freeze in the Arkham games is really, really, really good as well. The Batman is bad. 30-40 minutes, 45 minutes too long. Riddler, Catwoman were a joke. Yeah, they're not good. They're terrible adaptations of those characters. It's the first 10 minutes. So Mo's Game Room, hey, thank you for the raid, bro. I'm ranting about Batman. I'm super behind on chat. Shotgun Bear says, I need a good night's sleep to kick the sickness. Wish I could stay. Have a good night. Hey, have a good night, man. I know I'm behind. Jake Stanley Blue Blaze for 2 says, is it worth buying the Arkham trilogy on Switch? If you don't have another console and you haven't played the Arkham series, just buy it on Switch. Just to play it. If you have another console that you could play it on that console instead. Do not get it on Switch. If you have another console you can play it on, but if you don't have anything else, if the Switch is the only thing you have, if the Switch 2 is the only thing you have, then yes, get it on there and just play them, because they're fantastic games. And Arkham City is still one of my favorite games of all time. It is in my top 10 favorite games ever played. So Wyoming Sasquatch for 5. Leighton Gay, what I miss? Running forklift at work to pay off back taxes owed to you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Get your hand off my penis!
X and Wonderland 2 for 2 says you are to F&T what Hustle Man was to Martin. I appreciate that. Irish Rips and Armdrags for 5. Batman the Doom that came to Gotham has a collar like Rob. Really like the look personally in the animated movie. Came first, but people hate Pattinson. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. SED for 5 says, I super chatted Gary to have you full time. He gave you hella props and said you have what it takes, and he called you F&T's mistress as the fill-in guest.
We would be honored
That is
if you would join us.
legitimately a great honor coming from Gary. I appreciate it. The fact that Jeremy likes me being on Geeks and Gamers, the fact that Gary likes me being on F&T, the fact that so many people like me being on their channel and hanging out with them. Hopefully next week, as long as everything goes good, I'll be back on Film Thread on Monday. I miss those guys. I miss hanging out with Nick and Nick. Wow. I miss hanging out with Chris. I just saw Nick in the chat. I miss hanging out with Chris and Alan and that panel. Those guys are awesome, dude. I love talking movies with those guys. But speaking of Nick Gore for $1. Thank you, Nick Gore. Harbinger for 20 says, hail the epic Barney Nugget. I'll re-ask my question here. Who do you think would play a great Adam Jensen if there was a Deus Ex show? Also, chicken bucket emote. Will you try the Chronos Dead Space game? Barney tax. I am going to try Chronos. It looks cool. I don't know when I'll get around to it. It's going to be one down the line because I have a lot of other games lined up, but I will try it. Adam Jensen. I was thinking about that. I've been digging into my head about that. Adam Jensen. Man, there's... I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of really cool characters. To be honest, this is going to sound really cliche, okay? But I do think he could pull it off because of who Adam Jensen is. I think Keanu Reeves would be a really good casting for Adam Jensen. I think Keanu Reeves could pull it off. Okay? I'm not just trying to say that to like pick a low-hanging fruit, but I think he could pull it off really well. I think if you got somebody a little bit younger than Keanu Reeves, man. If you got somebody younger than Keanu Reeves to play him, man, that's a really good question. Because I just kind of have Keanu Reeves stuck in my head right now. Let me see here. Man, who could pull off Adam Jensen? The actor, what is his name? The guy from The Gentleman on Netflix. Speaking of that, because I know what is his name? He's not super young. Theo James. I think Theo James could do it. I think he has a good... I think if you got a good American accent, I think he could pull off Adam Jensen. I think he could do a really good job. He's got like a good intensity about him. Yeah, he could definitely pull off like an Adam Jensen character. Those are just two off the top of my head. Keanu Reeves, Adam Jensen. Maybe he did a movie, not the same, but he did a similar movie. What is his name now? The brother, Stark. He played in the Eternals as well. He was terrible in that.
We would be honored.
I'm trying to remember the name of the actor. Why can't I think of his actor's name? You guys will probably know it. Let me scroll all the way down in chat. You guys will probably know exactly what I'm talking about. What's up, Mo Monty? How you doing, buddy? What I'm trying to think of the man from Game of Thrones. Richard Maddox. Thank you, Mrs. Rough Knight. Richard Maddox. I did think about Jensen Ackles as well. I don't know if he maybe Jensen Ackles. Richard Maddox could do it. He would be really good. I think he could pull it off as well. But yeah, my number one go-to would be either Keanu Reeves or Theo James. I think both of those guys could knock it out of the park. Blank Man should always forever be Damon Wayans. So, what's up, King Deplorables? How you doing, man? Frank Gore. I know. I called him Nick, and I was like, that's not his name. For sale, it was 19 on Switch a while ago. Well, then you should probably get it, dude. When aren't you behind, Minky? Yeah, I'm always fucking behind on chat. All right, let me call it up on the super chats, and we'll just keep talking. Me, myself, and I for 10 says nothing. Thank you. Joe C818 Pureblood. What up, Joe? Gifted 2 channel memberships. Hey, shout out. Thank you, Joe. Hope you're doing well. I'm going to Sasquatch for 2. Meek, you need non-scary super chat notifications. I do. The problem is when I'm on stream, when I'm like doing Streamlabs, if I want to change the sound alerts, I have to manually go in and change every single one. And maybe there's a different way to do it on different platforms. Maybe I just need to get my notifications on a different platform, because what I need is a separate profile. I need one that just says, these are the sound alerts for scary or for Fright Mike, and these are the sound alerts for regular. But I don't have those set up. I have to manually change them every time, and it takes a long time and a lot of work to do that. And if I'm going in between Fright Mike streams really quickly, it just becomes a nightmare to deal with. So that's the reason I haven't done that yet. But that is a good point. Wyman Sasquatch for 2 says, I'm so fucking behind. Chat tax. Thank you. Jose Taco for 109. This is a great question. Craven's Last Hunt or The Killing Joke? Craven's Last Hunt. Hands down. The Killing Joke is a good one. I know a lot of people like The Killing Joke. I think The Killing Joke is a little bit edgelordy at times. I still think it's a good Batman story, but I much prefer Craven's Last Hunt, dude. That shit is so fucking metal in like the best way. Craven's Last Hunt is so fucking good, dude. And I wish they would adapt Craven's Last Hunt Craven's Last Hunt storyline. I would love to get to a point where I would love to have gotten to a point, and we're not there, and I don't think we'll ever get there unless these IPs go to individual places. I would love to get to a point where instead of it being always a big major franchise, we just adapt storylines from comic books if we want to make them live action. It would be awesome to just cast an actor as Spider-Man that we think works as Spider-Man, and then do a Craven's Last Hunt storyline, and it just be that one. And if people really like that, if people really like that storyline and people really like that character and stuff, maybe keep them on, maybe do another one with their adaptations, but giving people other options to like look into or like see different adaptations of characters would be really cool. Instead of it always having to be the same person. I don't mind it being the same person. You get comfortable with that. It's like Toby did a great job. He's a great Spider-Man. He's the GOAT, you know? So he should keep doing it. But I also, I dig Andrew Garfield. I like his Spider-Man, you know? And I think that, yeah, I get the whole idea of like, well, we don't want the audience to get confused. I think people could just appreciate them for what they are. You know, and I know animated movies do that. You guys are right. But I also like it to see some of it live action too, man. I would love to see some of it live action. I'm gonna see if I can get all the Craven Hunt Last Hunt comics at MegaCon. That's a good idea, dude. That'd be the best place to do it. How about something better than adapting comic book story? There's plenty of good stories out there. I mean, that's true too. I love superhero stuff though. I never ever get tired of superhero stuff ever. I've never gotten superhero burnout or superhero fatigue. I get burnout on bad shitty stuff because people are lazy and just think that they can just shit out superhero movies for the heck of it and them not be good quality. But as far as like when we didn't have to run into what we ran into with the DC universe and with Marvel, they could have kept making banger stories. They could have kept making quality stories and quality IPs, and they could have let younger actors and directors and people work on these things and do these things and taken some minor risks, but also still had an established universe. Here's the thing. It looks a hell of a lot better. You know what a good, like, we already kind of had a good blueprint of this, okay? Perfect example. Netflix. Okay? We have Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist. Okay? Arguably in that quality order. Daredevil, fucking phenomenal show. Not perfect, but phenomenal. Season 1 is absolutely incredible. Season 2 is really fucking good. There's some pacing issues in season 2, but overall, great fucking season. Season 3 is a fucking banger as well. It's awesome. You love it. And then you get something different in Jessica Jones. And I like Jessica Jones season 1, especially season 1. I think season 1 in particular is just honed in. David Tennant as the Purple Man, Kilgrave, is phenomenal. Him and Kristen Ritter's chemistry together is so good, dude. And then you get Luke Cage. I think Luke Cage was a good show. I think it's criminally underrated. I think season 2 has moments that are better than season 1. Them calling me Bushmaster. That, like, Bushmaster was a great bad guy. And then you get Iron Fist, and Iron Fist sucks. Iron Fist was not good. Iron Fist was booty-assed, cheeks jiggling, stank wind. It was terrible. Awful fucking season of television. Bad.
Move this man!
It's terrible. But the thing that was cool about it is you're watching Daredevil, and you don't really get a lot of crossover in Daredevil. But, like, you're watching Jessica Jones, Luke Cage shows up. And they, like, you know, hang out, and they're doing cool stuff. And then you also get Luke Cage. In season 2 of Luke Cage, you get a fucking rad team up with him and the Iron Fist. And arguably, Iron Fist is more Iron Fist in Luke Cage's show than he is in his own show. But when they teamed up and they do the warehouse sequence where they're fighting the warehouse shit's rad, bro. I think they could have pulled it off if they had taken a little bit more time with it, and Iron Fist didn't suck so bad and they weren't caving to the pressure. Because here's the thing with Iron Fist season 2. Iron Fist season 2 is essentially, how can we get these powers away from Danny? Because Danny's a white guy, and white people shouldn't be the best kung fu users of kung fu in the world. That was a lot of people don't remember that being the case, but that was the thing that happened with that show. Was a lot of people trying to complain and say that it wasn't fair and that it was cultural appropriation for Danny to be the best martial artist, and that's why they gave it to Colleen Wing at the end. And I like Colleen in that show, but she did not deserve the Iron Fist. Iron Fist was booty ass stank shit. So Moses Money says Luke blew that back out, bro. That sex scene made me very uncomfortable. Luke Cage and Jessica Jones getting it on, bro. This 90-pound soaking wet woman and just this giant fucking black dude just pounding the dog shit, bro. And they got like super strength, so like they show like, oh, you know, they're breaking the bed and shit. But I'm like, yeah, but this is kind of uncomfortable a little bit. It's kind of like kind of fucking thing. So yeah. But that kind of a crossover and that kind of a universe, that is where you can have a show like Iron Fist suck. You don't give it another season, and you just have Danny, the actor that plays Danny, go jump in between or maybe make a cameo appearances every so often, which is cool. And then you can introduce other street level heroes if you want to. You know, if Disney wasn't such ass butts about everything, I'm gonna say another word I can't say, they weren't so fucking stupid about it, and they would have actually worked with the television people a little bit to like let them all kind of connect with each other, it could have been so rad to have seen us, like maybe Spider-Man gets introduced to the Netflix TV shows, and then he moves over to you know, he moves over into the movies. You know, you could have done a lot of really cool stuff. Okay. I would have really enjoyed that a lot. So they weren't established as a media empire with the money they put into shows. Now that's true. They could have been. And then Defenders sucked. The Defenders did suck. And I was really bummed out about the Defenders. But the only reason the Defenders sucked as bad as it is because they did not have a good villain. Like, I was like, dude, like, I like Sigourney Weaver. She's cool. But damn, dude, like Sigourney Weaver like had nothing to do in that show. And then they were like, well, what if Elektra's the bad guy? And I'm like, how the fuck is Elektra gonna beat up Luke Cage? They're like, well, she has vague like super strength powers now that she's resurrected and stuff. It would have made more sense if she could like do nerve attacks or something against him. Or surprise, you do the Defenders and then you have a team of bad guys that can fight them. You gotta get a brick to fight the brick. You have to find somebody that can go toe to toe with Luke Cage and fight him and it not feel contrived and shitty. You got to find, Elektra and Daredevil, like if you wanted to do a lineup of that, you do Elektra and Daredevil, those two fighting, being in love with each other and all that stuff. Cool, whatever. Like, you could have done that storyline. You could have had Danny Rand fighting an army of evil ninja people, trying to deal with what the Hand was up to, shit like that. You could have Jessica Jones also helping with all of that. But for Luke, they didn't know what to do with Luke Cage, man. I'm trying to think of like street level Marvel villains that Luke could have fought. That could have been interesting to have. Man, who would be a good street level Marvel villain that could go toe to toe with Luke Cage? Bushmaster was cool. That's part of what made Bushmaster work. Luke Cage being like almost invincible sucks until you find somebody that can kick his shit in. Or the stakes are so high that he has to push himself and it doesn't matter that he's invulnerable because his mind and his emotions aren't invulnerable. But Turd Ferguson, go plug in your fucking phone now. Tombstone, that's a good one. That could have been a good introduction. I think people would have been bummed out that there wasn't a Spider-Man in that. Tombstone could have been a good one. That would have worked. And also the fact that we only had Danny Rand lighting up one iron fist like every so often was bullshit. We could have had something really fucking cool there. Tombstone would be a good one. That's a good street level villain. I just didn't want them to just use those. I wonder let me look up. I don't know a ton about Luke Cage. I know a little bit. Obviously, Cottonmouth was a great villain in Mahershala Ali. Black Mariah was also a good one. Alfred Woodard's character. So we have Shades, but I didn't know Shades had powers, but yeah, because I didn't know a whole lot about Shades either. You had Diamondback. Diamondback was decent. I liked it. Was a little bit cringy. Like he had the fucking suit and he's dropping like, you jive ass turkey Luke Cage, I'm gonna beat your ass. But still, it's a comic book and I kind of appreciated that. So arguably, I think Luke Cage was some of the most like cheesy comic book stuff that worked. So Wrecking Crew, yeah. I do think Kingpin should have been mentioned as well. I do agree. What's the matter with Turd? The Wrecking Crew would be it. Yeah, see, that's a good call, Turd. See, fucking plug in your phone, Turd. I don't know, man. I just think that they could have done something really interesting with a lot of that, But once again, I just feel like there was they were very short-sighted. And I do agree. Netflix did not have the confidence, I feel like, to really push themselves, but they should have. They should have. So, JD Kirby Dark Overlord for 2 says Daredevil season 1 and 2, Punisher seasons 1 and 2. The rest were real stank. I actually liked season 3 of Daredevil a lot. With Bullseye and stuff. I actually really like season 3 of Daredevil. But I agree, 1 and 2 are great. I like Punisher, but season 2 had its moments, but some of season 2 I was not a huge fan of. I feel like it drug its feet a lot. I loved season 1 of Punisher. Season 1 of Punisher was fucking rad. I liked season 1 of Jessica Jones. Season 2 was not very good. Season 3 had its moments at times. I like the idea of her going up against like a serial killer who was like smarter than her and like making her life kind of fall apart. Stuff like that was really cool. So somebody asked Mike, Dr. Doom casting John Hamm. I don't know if I don't know if I think John Hamm. So like in Baby Driver, John Hamm's a bad guy, but I don't know if I think John Hamm has the chops to pull off Victor Von Doom. Honestly, a lot of people have talked about it. I think that if they hadn't used him for Caliphus or whatever his villain name is in Doctor Strange, Mads Mikkelsen would have been a great Doctor Doom. Mads Mikkelsen could have been a really good Doctor Doom. Punisher was fun. It wasn't really Punisher. It was basically Mr. Marine. I liked season 1 of Punisher. I do think he should have been left a cop, but yeah. I do think he should have been left because Punisher was originally a cop, right? For a minute, it looked like Netflix was going to be home for great comic book adaptations, but they fell off. Well, part of the reason they fell off is because Disney came in and pulled the rug out from under them. So I have it flipped the other way. So Frank was originally a Marine, not a police officer, and then various adaptations have portrayed him as a former cop. I think they both work, but I like the Punisher. I think he's rad. I think John Bernthal did an amazing job. His fucking energy is so good, dude. He has amazing energy, dude. He was a bad guy in Fargo. I liked him. He was also a really good bad guy in like I said, in Baby Driver. He's a really good bad guy. My dream casting for Doctor Doom, I had a couple different people I think could have done it. I think Mads Mikkelsen was up there. I can't remember how to say his name. Cillian Murphy or Killian Murphy. I think Killian would have done a really good job as Doctor Doom. I think he has the acting chops to do it. I think he has the intensity to. And my dark horse, who I actually legitimately was my, like, if they had chosen him as the actor for Doctor Doom, would have been perfect for the role, was Viggo Mortensen. I think Viggo Mortensen as Doctor Doom, as Victor Von Doom, would have been phenomenal, dude. He would have been so fucking good. But they didn't. They cast Robert Downey Jr. Peter Stormare might be good. Yeah, I mean, I like Peter Stormare. I don't know that he has that level of acting chops. He kind of gets typecast, but it kind of works for him. He's great in Constantine as Lucifer, dude. He did a great job as in that role. Javier Bardem could do it. Javier Bardem could have been a good Doom. Yeah, he could have killed it too. Tom Jane was better than Bernthal, but Ray Stevenson was the perfect Punisher. He was a good Punisher. He was a really good Punisher. Ghost Rider series. I like the Nick Cage movies. I do think that they could have done a really good Ghost Rider series. They did Robbie Reyes in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I know a lot of people don't like Robbie Reyes as Ghost Rider. What was cool about it, though, is in that, in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. series, Robbie Reyes, they explain, was given like a spirit of vengeance by Johnny Blaze. It's not the same spirit of vengeance, but it is a spirit of vengeance. So Samuel Jackson's Doom, that would have been wild, dude. Yeah, so I don't know, man. You know, there was a lot of potential casting that we could have got that I would have really liked. Ryan Gosling to be a stuntman, Johnny Blaze, Ghost Rider. Ryan Gosling, that could have been interesting. Yeah, I don't know, man. In the current comic Iron Fist Asian now, the backlash to Danny is also why they push Shang-Chi. Yes, I think he is. Yeah, they did Iron Fist dirty because a bunch of fucking racist bleeding heart types tried to pretend like they gave a shit about culture. And we're like, it's not fair that a white guy is the best kung fu artist. I'm like, I mean, there are other Asian people in the Marvel universe that are very good at kung fu. There are also other white folk and black folk that are also good at kung fu in the Marvel universe. There's a lot of different folk that are good at kung fu in the Marvel universe. Iron Fist has an advantage in that he has iron fists. So yeah. So I don't know, you know? So 2 things, and then I'm going to call it. All right. We got an update. I just saw this. We got an actual update on Ryan Coogler's X-Files reboot. He said it's going to have a Monster of the Week episodes alongside an overarching conspiracy. He got advice from Vince Gilligan when he was approaching television on how to write for television. It's his next project, and then Black Panther 3's after that. He's enjoying the pressure of fans. There are a lot of really smart people I don't want to let down. He's a big fan of Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny. Won't comment on if they're returning. I know a lot of people are worried about this. I would be worried if I felt like Ryan Coogler isn't able to get out of his own way and has to write race stuff all the time. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think that that's going to be the case. I think we'll see some allegories, of course, and stuff like that, but there were allegories back in the day for a lot of things. The problem is, can you write a good episode of television around allegories and themes? Yes, you can. It's been done many times before, right in front of us, but the problem is, most of the time, it is message over, it's message over quality. And I don't think that, I think that Ryan Coogler is capable of writing story over message. I really do. Ben West for 2 says, smack that like button like Luke Cage. Hell yeah. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, if you haven't already, please hit the like button. If you're new here, please subscribe to the channel. If you like the channel, stick around. We've got more to come. Did you see the Death of Robin Hood trailer, Meek? What do you guys think? I haven't watched it yet. I kind of want to stay away from it. I've heard a lot of people got upset about it, and I just don't want to see. I kind of didn't want to get bummed out. I kind of didn't want to get bummed out by it. So, they made the guy who died in the Avengers Ghost Rider briefly to trick the evil hot robot lady. Yeah. So, you guys should definitely, if you haven't already, you should watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's good. Here's a little bit of a spoiler. Yeah, there's a scene. It's fucking I really liked Robbie Reyes as Ghost Rider in that show. I think he did a great job. I think they did a great portrayal of Ghost Rider, what Ghost Rider is capable of and shit. And there's a scene where they're trying to fight like a super AI chick who's like the one that's originating life model decoys and stuff. And to trick her, they give Coulson, the Ghost Rider, the Spirit of Vengeance from Robbie Reyes. And so he's talking to her, and then he fucking like basically is like, gotcha, bitch. And then his fucking face melts off. It's just a flaming fucking skull of Coulson's. Dude, that shit was cool as fuck. But yeah, the show struggles at the end, especially once Coulson was gone. The show got a lot worse. So you should just watch it in general. It could be fun. I have not watched all of X-Files. I've watched some episodes here and there, but I really have not watched a lot of it. That is on my list for next to watch and go through. That's some really interesting info. I'm saying cautiously optimistic. I don't think Coogler can do worse with the newer seasons of X-Files already were. That's fair, Mrs. Rough Night. And thank you, JD Kirby, or JD Kirby Dark Overlord. Hey, shout out, man. Thank you. I'll be honest, as much as I like Sinners for what it's worth, I don't think I'm a Coogler guy. His stuff seems kind of forced to me. I mean, that's fair. I can understand that. I can understand being worried about that. Yeah. And then the other thing I was going to bring up. So I already mentioned it on Twitter. I am watching through Farscape, and I really like Farscape. I will say this. I have not fallen in love with the show yet, but I will say this. Whereas with shows like, like Netflix shows, typically where they have like shorter episode counts and things like that, a lot of times I'll only give you about 3 episodes before I decide I'm not going to invest. About 3 episodes in, if I haven't got hooked, I'll a lot of times stop watching a show or not go back to it. Okay. With 90s television and like 80s, 90s television, a lot of times you kind of have to give them an entire first season. I think I'm on episode 6 right now, Miss Rough Night. Not much farther. I haven't been able to watch them as much as I want, just because I've been really fucking tired. Farscape, the fuck is that? It's a 90s sci-fi show, and it's really good. Did Jim Henson Company make the puppets? They did. But I really, really like Farscape. I was telling Mrs. Rough Night about, I really like that the first episode's very much what you think about aliens is not necessarily the truth about aliens, and they just really approach it from not everything is solved with a blaster and fighting things. Sometimes there's a time to fight, sometimes fighting isn't as necessary. So yeah, I don't know. There's just a really charming quality to it. The puppets make it even more charming because it's a great way to approach aliens where they're not all humanoid. And I love that about it is like, sometimes it's nice to have aliens that really defy the expectations of what we expect from aliens because we're limited by human beings and humans, sizes. Claudia Black is gorgeous. Yeah. And I really like that they establish, yes, she looks like a human, but she's not really a human. She's an alien. She has her own things. I know the guy that did Alien Nation is involved in this. I have seen all of Alien Nation, including all the television movies. I fucking loved Alien Nation. They almost rebooted it, and I'm really fucking glad they didn't. I love Alien Nation. I've never seen the movie. I've only watched the show. Yeah, Rockney S. O'Bannon. Yeah, I really like his approach to aliens, and I can definitely see some shades of Alienation in this. I loved Alienation all the way through, but yeah, the puppetry in this is really good. And there's an episode, like episode 2, I told Mr. Rough Night, there's a scene where this one character is like really played by Claudia Black, is like sick and dying basically because of something happening. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched the show, but there's a scene where she's interacting with this puppet, and she almost collapses, and the puppet like reaches out one of its arms and catches her. And the moment between them is very brief. It's very sweet and intimate, and I forgot that it was a puppet. And that is what sells me on shows. Some of my favorite moments is when I forget that they're not puppets. It's one of the reasons I love like one of my favorite movies. I think the Yoda lifting the X-Wing sequence in Star Wars is literally one of the best sequences in all of cinema because it is such a cool, amazing moment. It's full of so much atmosphere. It's such a great story moment, and a payoff to what we've been expecting from Yoda and not seeing from him. But also the fact that you fucking forget that it's a puppet. It's a fucking puppet, dude, and it doesn't matter. It's just the coolest fucking thing to you. You believe that this fucking puppet, the guy's hand up its ass, is capable of lifting an X-Wing out of a bog, and it's fucking great. So, Turd says, I want to get into V, which has aliens. I've heard V is good. I think you would love Alienation. And Turd, I'm working through Deadwood as well. I've taken a little bit of a break. I'm about halfway through Deadwood season 1. I really like Deadwood a lot. I really, 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 really like Deadwood. Alienation is awesome. It's very different. It's very personal. It's very there is some cool stuff in it because the two main characters are cops and stuff, but there's a lot of allegories for racism and stuff, but that overcomes the message in favor of a good story. There's some really great story in Alienation, and I love the movies too. It's dated, it's 90s stuff, but it's still really good. I loved Alienation, dude. And yeah, I haven't seen the movie. I know it started as a movie. I like the show, and the show kind of like alludes to events that happened in the movie, but they're different actors in the show. And I also really like in the beginning the main character like fucking hates the aliens. He wants nothing to do with them, but he gets partnered with one, and how they start to blend their lives and become friends and stuff like that. And he ends up falling in love with an alien chick at one point, and how confusing that is for him and stuff. Great shit, dude. I really liked it. The other thing that they do that's really cool is because the aliens are like different than us, like, dealing with their different biology. The other thing that they do is like, so in the show, the aliens are like 30 to 40% stronger than humans, like just on average. So like they have like biological advantages over us that we don't have. And so they're kind of dangerous. And there's like that aspect to it too. Yeah. I would say this. I don't know what show you're watching right now, but if you get a chance, just binging through Alienation would be a good time. I think you'd really enjoy it. Which one is the sunglasses reveal hidden signs? They Live. That's with Roddy Piper. They Live is amazing. So Justified is one of my favorites, says Wani. I love Justified. Dude. Oh yeah, they drink spoiled milk. Yeah, I remember that. They get drunk off of spoiled milk. Yeah, it's like their alcohol. Justified is phenomenal. I love Justified. Walton Goggins, Timothy Olyphant. It's a masterclass. It's a modern day Western, and it has all of the enjoyment of a modern day Western. And the worst parts about the show is when you're reminded it's not a Western. Like when they try to get into other things, but most of the time they stick to it being a Western. It's really fucking great. Yes, it's genetically engineered to be a perfect worker. That's absolutely correct. So, yeah. And like, yeah, season 1 of Justified is good. If you haven't watched Justified, oh, you've been watching Deep Space Nine? Deep Space Nine is great. Deep Space Nine is fucking amazing. Like, Deep Space Nine is some of the best Star Trek out there. I like Next Generation more just because I like some of the characters more. But, dude, Deep Space Nine is so fucking good. Did you watch Firefly? I love Firefly. Firefly is amazing. I've never watched Sequest. No, I have not watched Sequest. I love Firefly. Firefly is fucking great. Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand. Yeah, that show's so good. And then Serenity. But yeah, Justified's great. If you like Westerns, you should watch Justified. It's awesome. Walton Goggins is fucking the man in that show, dude. He's so good. We have a great legacy of fantastic shows. We do. We really do. Oh yeah, and Turd, where are you done with? How close are you to being done with KOTOR 1? That's a close one for me. Honestly, I'd go Deep Space Nine. Thing is, in Data, Worf is my favorite Star Wars character, hands down. Worf is my #1 favorite Star Trek character across the board. I love Worf as a character. Data is a really close second, and then Spock and Data might be tied. Okay, I grew up with the Next Generation and then got into the original series later. I love Spock. I love Kirk too. I love the whole cast of the original series, but Spock is one of my other favorite characters. I love the duality. Yes, there is definitely some kind of attachment to like being a person of like, I know he's two species, human and Vulcan, but growing up half black and half white and not knowing quite which culture you can lean into, and being reminded by black people that you're not black enough to, or you're not black enough to be fully black. Being reminded by white people you're not white enough to be fully white. There's definitely an enjoyment to that, like, or a relating to that in Spock, and I love that. I also just think Spock is a great fucking character, and Leonard Nimoy is a master dude at doing that kind of stuff. So I love Leonard Nimoy. He's awesome. But yeah, Worf is my favorite. Data and Spock are really close for second place. I love Kirk. I love Picard. Riker. I love Riker. But like, he's not like super high on my list. But then yeah, when you get in like Deep Space Nine, Garrick is like one of the best characters in Star Trek. Garrick's phenomenal. I really liked Garrick a lot. I liked Cisco. He's not like super high on my list, but I like Cisco. Jadzia is fucking rad. I love Jadzia. First of all, she's gorgeous and great to look at, but I love Jadzia as a character. Remember you said he was ending like 20 minutes ago? Quark is great. I loved Odo and Quark. Dude, the episode where like they're together, like on a planet, they're stranded on a planet together, and like Odo breaks his leg, and then he like, Quark is like, I'm bringing you with me because I'm going to eat you later. Yeah. Alpha's also a very underrated show. I liked Alphas a lot. I hated that they left off on season cliffhanger. I love that show. Hogan's Heroes. My grandmother loved Hogan's Heroes. I watched a few episodes of it here and there, but I never watched all of Hogan's Heroes. I loved it though. White people don't care, Glenn Jones. I can tell you this with, this is going to be a surprise for a lot of you. When you live in a primarily white area that doesn't have any, like, the only people they've ever seen that don't look like them are Mexican migrant workers, I can tell you right now, they absolutely do care. But it's okay because I'm not a victim and I don't have to live my life as a victim. It's just, There's definitely a difference. All right. I can assure you that there is a difference, and I've been in enough like fights to prove that. So sometimes people just don't like you because you're different, and then you have to prove to them that you're better than that. Sometimes you just have to fucking hit people in the face for calling you shit. So it's a little bit of both. Yeah, I love Jadzia. She's awesome. I never watched a TV show Threshold. No, I have not. The Noir Odo episode is one of my very favorites. That's a good one too, man. That's a really good one too. I always love the episodes of like Next Generation where they were like doing adventures, like where Data is Sherlock Holmes and they have to like invent a villain. They basically make like a Moriarty, but he's blended with a computer, so he's like smarter than Data. You know, yeah, that shit was great, dude. The show was canceled because Bob Crane was murdered. I did not know that, dude. That's crazy. A Ducat, yeah, Gul Dukat, one of the fucking worst villains in a good way ever. Like, he wasn't a bad guy. He just had to deal with the situation that was going on. Yeah, but he is a villain. But he's also more complex than that because, yeah, he's dealing with politics. Yeah. The episode where they go to the Jim Hadar prison, yeah, dude. That's good shit, man. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of really good shows on there, and then there's a lot of great sci-fi. Yeah, if you're somebody that has not watched, like, if you haven't watched, like Firefly, for instance, you should watch Firefly. Turd says I'm no closer to finishing it, a little further than I was, but not so much as the last time I stopped. Just past the stuff where you trick the Rancor. Okay, gotcha. You're almost to the end of that section. You're close, and it resolves in an interesting way. I'm curious. After you leave that place, I'll be interested to hear what you think. I love Riker. I have a type, says Mrs. Roughnight. Hell yeah. Kirk is my all-time favorite, but Deep Space Nine is one crew that I love every character. There's no, man, I don't like this guy's plots. That's fair. I didn't like, what's her name? Hi, Anne. Hi, Anne. I hope you're doing well. I didn't like, Jadzia's replacement. Oh, what is her name? I will say that I did not like Jadzia's replacement, and there are times where I got really fucking burned out on hold on. I can't remember her name now off the top of my head, even though I fucking knew it before. Why is that so fucking bright? Well, Kira. Yeah, there were times where I got burnt out on Kira a lot. I was like, oh fuck, Kira's mad at somebody a lot now. Here we go. I like Bashir. He was cool. I kind of like, he's like the least interesting. Ezri. Yeah, I did not like Ezri at all, dude. I was like, oh god, here we go. Ezri again. Fuck, dude. I want Jadzia back so bad. Yeah. When I'm having a bad day, I just want to watch Riker get into some crazy crap, pure entertainment. Yeah, that's true. Dude, Riker's great. Riker is like, he's not Kirk, but he's like kind of that, he has that same kind of feeling. Yeah. He was a shadow of Jadzia. Yeah, nothing like that. Dude, yeah. I like the episode where where she had to track down the serial killer. That's fair. Did Delancey ever get an Emmy for his performance as Q? I don't think so. He was great though. Or Delance. Hold on, let me see here. Let me see if he got an Emmy. Bashir went from a character, hold on, that I could barely give a shit to after they revealed his enhancements. He became pretty awesome. Yeah, that was cool. Riker and Data have a podcast together now. Do they really? Interesting. Let me see if he won any awards. Well, the friendship between O'Brien and Bashir. Yeah, absolutely. That's funny. Initially, Delance was too busy to audition for the part of Q. Oh, how did that just skip on me? Hold on. He's too busy to audition for the part of Q, but Gene Roddenberry, whom he did not know, arranged a second opportunity. DeLance recognized that even though Star Trek was only a small part of his career, it opened doors for him. In a 2012 interview, he said that he recalled his original audition, after which Roddenberry approached him, touched him on the shoulder, and said, "You make my writing sound better than it is." Yep. He was good, man. I like him a lot. So he's great in Breaking Bad as well. But dude, his Q is amazing. Q's another one of my favorite characters in Star Trek. I loved Q. So, hey, what's up, Discount Matt? Appreciate you, bro. Paul Monopoly, have a good night, man. We're about to wrap it up, so I appreciate you. I know it's late. I got to switch places with Lady Epic for the evening. So, yeah. I don't think he did win an Emmy for that. Let me see if let me actually look it up. He has not won an Emmy for his portrayal of Q. He received 4 wins and 8 nominations in total across his career, but there's no record of Emmy wins specifically for his role as Q. That's a bummer. He should get one, though. He deserved one. The trial never ended. All right, y'all. Listen, I appreciate you guys. Let me read Anne's last little thing. Bashir's great. You realize that when he's talkative, it's about nonsense, but it's very quiet and purposeful when it's important. Great foil for Garrick. Yes, absolutely, dude. And of course, now in modern Star Trek, they try to make them gay together in like some other fucking universe because it's just a bunch of people writing shitty fanfic, obsessively writing shitty fanfic, dude. Just so fucking stupid. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna call it here. I appreciate you. We got daily in the morning. The S tier team is gonna be there. You guys should be used to that by now. Me, Beardo, stuff should be a good time. I appreciate the hell out of you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you for the gifted memberships. Thank you for the super chats. And more importantly than anything, and always, thank you for your time. Thank you for hanging out, talking, always good conversations. I love shooting the shit with you guys. I didn't even want to do topics. I just wanted to talk with you guys. So, B-Man says Babylon 5 over Deep Space Nine. I love both. Okay. Well, I'm going through right now. The show I'm locked in on is Farscape. I'm going to get through Farscape. When I'm done with Farscape, then I will move to some other show at some point. So, Autofocus. Sula Felix for 2 says Autofocus 2002, movie about Bob Crane. Check it out. Autofocus. Let me pull it up. All right, I'll check that out. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your night. If you're still awake, go find somebody to watch. I'm not rating anybody right now because I don't have it up. But guys, thank you. I appreciate you. Daily tomorrow. Probably do a stream tomorrow before we do Mario Kart World. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow as well. But I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your night, and I will talk to you all really soon. Later.